Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dennis, and in today's episode I'm going to show you some of my houseplants that were grown from very small cuttings. Most of them are single leaf or two leaf cuttings. We're going to take a look at how they have grown. So let's look at some plants. The first plant I'm going to show you is this massive, or rather this messy philodendron. This is Philodendron Burley Marx. It is supposed to be a variegated one. It came to me as a 3-leaf cutting, all variegated. But as you can see now, most of the leaves are green. I think there are still some variegated leaves here. Yep, but most of them have turned green, which I understand is actually pretty common in Burley Marx. This is despite the fact that I have it under very bright light outside the balcony. Of course, no direct sun, but yet it still turned green. So maybe I should be fertilizing it more. Check out all the area roots. It's really gone wow. I want to chop this up because it has grown all gangbuster. Look at this mess. I don't even know how am I going to chop it up because it's really close. The nodes are really close to each other. So yeah, I got to figure it out. It is a very easy growing philodendron. Too easy, as you can see. A really nicely variegated one will still be in demand if you're able to keep that nice variegation. So I got to do some research as to how am I going to propagate this to allow it to regrow some of that variegation back. Yeah, so I think there was a half moon leaf somewhere. Oh yeah, it's here. Yeah, this one. This was really nice. It's been around for a long time, many months, and it's still hanging on. This is dying. It's turning yellow. This is my Philodendron Burley Marx Varagata. I think it has almost 10 times the original size. I think there should be around at least 30 leaves here now. Wait for the next propagation video. I will cut this up and see how we can multiply this even further. So obviously you can tell this is a climbing philodendron. It needs a pole to properly grow. This is not helping. It is not latching itself up the pole, so I think this got to go. I'm going to make a proper moss pole for it. Okay, if I have an award for the plant that I'm most proud of, it would be this Piper Crocatum. Yeah, if you look at this beautiful plant that has grown, I think now almost 20 leaves, you wouldn't believe that I got all this from a single leaf. Yeah, it was a single leaf cutting, and the leaf dropped off from the original parent plant when it was delivered to me. Fortunately, I put it in water. Unknowingly, it rooted, but it took a long time to root. For months actually, it wasn't doing anything. And finally, when it rooted and I potted it up, it also took a long time to actually give out another leaf. It didn't do anything for the longest time. Then suddenly one day the growth just exploded. It gave me the third leaf, the fourth leaf, and then yeah, boom, a lot of leaves. So I've decided to let it climb up the side of this shelf And as you can see, the size of the leaves remain pretty big. Yeah, but at this point, I think I got to cut it soon to try to propagate it because I really love this plant. Look at the beautiful pink veins. This plant is actually from the family of Pepperaceae. It's a pepper plant and it's from South America. This plant doesn't like to dry out, so I actually keep the potting medium pretty moist. It's facing this very bright light from the balcony, next to the balcony. Yeah, it needs to be watered a little bit more. When it comes to watering these plants, it's very expressive. As you can see, it's a little bit droopy now, so you know that it needs a drink. Look at some of the leaves. They have this like crystal-like things on the back, which is a natural mechanism for the plant to fend off pests. So yeah, you can see the crystals here on the stem as well. Just for comparison, this Piper sylvaticum next to it, I didn't really let it climb. It was just trailing downwards with no support. And as you can see, the leaves have grown smaller and smaller. That's the latest leaf. Yeah, pretty small. Since they're next to this Piper, I'm going to show you these two Scindapsus. This is a Scindapsus silver cloud. It is definitely one of my favorite Scindapsus because look at the patterns on the leaf. It looks like some very abstract watercolor piece. Really nice. I also got this as a 2-leaf cutting. I think this is one of the original leaves, and this one, the bigger one. Then it has given me all this very nice but really small leaves because I was letting it trail as well. So you can see that the leaves are really small all the way down. There's one, the last one unfolding here. So I really need to propagate this and give it a proper pole to climb. I think it will benefit from that and give me bigger leaves. Look at this, really beautiful. And next to this is also another Scindapsus. This is Jade Satin. It's a plain green Scindapsus, but I really like how intense and dark the green is. And if you look carefully, there's this very subtle veination as well. Not very in your face, but very beautiful nonetheless. I also got this as a 2-leaf cutting. Yeah, this should be one of them, the big ones. And again, it has given me all these very small leaves. But yeah, from 2-leaf, I got all this leaf. And what I did was instead of letting it trail, I'll just twirl the new vines, hoping to get the bigger leaves this way. But apparently, it's not working. These are two of my Scindapsus that are grown from 2-leaf cuttings. Right, the next one is this very adorable little plant. This is the Hyperprenium Aureum. Or is it Aureum? Hyperprenium Aureum? Aureum, okay. Yeah. Commonly known as the Marble Queen or Snow Queen. Particularly the whiter one is known as the Snow Queen. Look at this beautiful white variegation, and look at all the arrowroots, so waiting to be cut. Alright, this was grown from a very small cutting. I think it had only 2 or 3 leaves, which I took off from the mother plant. And again, like the Piper, unfortunately the mother plant didn't survive. I think it dried out too much, and it was in this super dry potting medium and this terracotta pot, and I couldn't manage to keep it hydrated enough, and it started to dry out, and to the point of no return. I couldn't save it. So fortunately, I had the cutting, the very small cutting, and this is what it has grown into. But it really took a long time for the cutting to take off. before it started to grow all these new leaves. I think I had it for, I don't know, 5 months or even more. It remained as a 3-leaf cutting for the longest time, and at the point I just told myself, yep, this plant doesn't like me. But suddenly it just took off. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because, again, I gave it much brighter light outside. I moved it to the balcony, and yeah, things like to grow out there. As long as you don't give it too much of a direct sun, they don't burn them. So since it's out there, I water this almost every day. But luckily it's in this very loose potting medium, a lot of pumice, so it doesn't mind. And yeah, with all these aerial roots, yeah, really tempted to start cutting it up again, but I think I'll let it grow out a little bit more. Still pretty small, but wow, love the variegation. Okay, for the next plant, I'm going to lift it up from the floor. This is my, Philodendron Gloriosum. I think I got to move this a bit further back so you can see it in its entirety. This currently has 5 big leaves and a new one that is coming out. So yeah, it's huge. It is one of my biggest plants around, other than the Thai constellation. But looking at this Gloriosum, you wouldn't believe that I had it as a very small 2-leaf cutting. But that was a while back. I think maybe September, October 2020. So it is more than a year now. Yeah, but I'm still pretty amazed that it can give me such huge leaves. Yeah, look at this. This is the latest one. Still unblemished. Looking really good. And yeah, check out the white veins and the mid-rib against the leaf. This heart-shaped leaf. Really, really nice. This philodendron is clawler. Unlike most other epiphytic philodendrons which are climbers, this is not a climber. This one likes to crawl along the ground. This is a terrestrial plant, so you'll need to keep this watered more frequently compared to its climbing cousins. Currently, I have it in this terracotta pot, which as you can see is already climbing out of the pot. What I'm going to do is, in another video, I'm going to repot this in a long rectangular potter. Maybe a self-watering one, I'm not sure, or I'll just get a regular one to allow it to crawl and to grow further. I really love how velvety the leaves are. So from this 2-leaf cutting to this huge glorious plant. Okay, since we're talking about this Gloriosum, I'm going to show you another variant, which I also got it as a 2-leaf cutting. This is supposed to be the dark form. The leaves were already pretty big. This is one of the original leaves, followed by this one, which is actually pretty tattered. Yeah, not looking the best. So I'm not sure whether would you consider this as a cutting, but this was a 2-leaf cutting, even though they are pretty big. I only got it like 4 months back. Oh, this is the latest, so that's why it's a little bit light. You can see the 2 colors here, the lighter green and the darker part as it was unfurling. And these are all the newest, smaller leaves, but really stunning. Look at the veins. Yeah, I'm not sure, is this also known as the Zebra Gloriosum? But yeah, the newer leaves are looking really fantastic. So, right, just update on this. Okay, at some point I probably can cut it off and try to propagate this. It is currently growing in this very loose aeroid mix and this net pot, so it gives it a lot of good drainage and aeration. Thank you for watching this episode on the growth update of these cuttings and how they have grown into. If you like contents like that, do consider subscribing to my channel. Doesn't cost you a cent. Meanwhile, take care, be safe, and I shall see you again in my next video. And remember to show your plants some love.